Hi, Robin Joan Carter. Welcome to sunny Sydney.
Hi. How are you?
Robin Joan, I've been on your show a couple of times. It's a very, very popular podcast over in the US. And I must admit, last few years after becoming you guys are must be two of the most sincere, honest people I've ever met. And I really want to thank you for all the hard work you do for indie authors on your show, Meet the Author.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say.
Yeah, so I understand that Meet the Author, the podcast, you're up to 150 episodes over a period of 3 years.
3 years, 150 episodes.
Almost 150, right?
About 70,000 downloads. It's worldwide, and we're now on an FM radio station here in the States. So,
why did you start a podcast?
Well, as you know, we're paranormal investigators. And so we used to do a lot of podcasts for that because people always want to talk to paranormal investigators. And we were on a radio station as guests. And then the station manager gave us the opportunity to do a show, and everyone assumed we would want to do one about, the paranormal. And we said, no, we want to do something where we can have authors on. We can talk to them and people can get to know them and maybe help them sell a few books. And it's been very, very popular right from the get-go. It's amazing. We're having a great time.
Met a lot of wonderful people.
Really?
Really sincere people that are really working hard.
Yeah.
Just trying to get their stories out,
Yeah.
And
I'm having fun.
And I think the format as well, what I liked is quite often if you are interviewed about a novel, quite often it's very, very quick. Whereas with you guys, you can just sort of sit there and as you like to call it, it's a casual conversation. You can express yourself and you can take your time and I try to get on and watch live as much as I can, but quite often, obviously because of the time difference, it becomes a bit difficult. Okay, so tell me about Magnolia Bluff.
Well, Magnolia Bluff was started by the Underground Authors. It's a group of authors that Caleb Pirtle and C.W. Hawes basically organized and put together, along with several others. It's been about 12 authors all along, but then they decided they were going to do a series. They said, well, let's do a series that's based in one town, and everybody will make up their own characters, but then once a month they'll put one of those authors is going to put out a book. Everybody has a do not kill list too for their characters. Do not kill list.
Do not kill this person.
And it's okay to kill these people, and and so on. You're allowed to make up places in the town, places of business, and that sort of thing. But every month a new book comes out, a new novel comes out from another author based on the same town, and their characters intermingle. So like in our book, we made up our own characters, and then they go into town they interact with other main characters.
A lot of characters from the other authors.
Yeah. And you carry their personalities along, and try to capture them
to the best of our ability.
To the best you can, yeah.
And we were asked to do paranormal, which our other series isn't, and so we did because Caleb really wanted us to, and it's been so much fun because I didn't know how much fun it was going to be, but my thought was, okay, we'll be able to put in real things the way we really investigate, using the same tech, and it'll be very realistic about what paranormal investigators do, which we did.
Yeah. First of all, our book is called A Chance of a Ghost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's really, it isn't us, but it's a younger couple and, things like that. But really, yeah, it's us. It's the way we investigate. It's pretty much us.
Okay. So just for the Australian viewers, the young family from Florida to the outskirts of Magnolia Bluff, Texas. They have spent the last year and a half renovating an old Victorian mansion. It had been neglected for years and needed a lot of work. Now most of the work is done. During renovations, they would hear things go bump in the night. Floorboards would creak. Sometimes tools would be found in odd places. They did not think much of that until their son woke up screaming for them in the middle of the night. He immediately called cousin Mike in Tampa. Oh.
Yep. Welcome to our world.
Yeah, I mean, you did you went on a road trip, a ghost hunting road trip. Just well, it's not recent now. What, about 6 months ago?
Last June.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, that was pretty fun because the founders of Tampa Bay Spirits, Les and Beth Gregory, flew into Texas and joined us there, and we did a live a live podcast from there, live stream, and people stayed up until 3 o'clock in the morning while we investigated the whole house. For a few weeks before we went there, I would continue to get these pictures in my head, and so would Beth. And our youngest daughter, Jessie, is a member of the team also. And so I would text Jessie everything I was seeing and hearing, and so would Beth, and we wouldn't talk to each other. Plus, we never know anything about the house that we're going into because we don't want to know. And so Jessie had investigated the house, and she was freaking out because everything we said was right on. And she was like, oh my gosh, I want to tell them. But yeah, that was an interesting place. Some really not nice things happened there, and some really not nice
So tell me,
there.
Yeah, so that was going to be my next question. In your sort of like travels, when you're doing your paranormal investigations, have you ever come across anything really, really evil?
We don't usually on our investigations. Now, some people are rude and obnoxious, and so you might run across a rude and obnoxious.
Some spirits are, yeah.
But you don't run into demons. Even the one in Texas, there were some very nasty spirits there. You know, one threatened me, "You better run," and I laughed. I was like, "I'm not going to run." But
I think they could recognize.
If I heard something like that, you wouldn't see me for the dust.
I laughed. I mean, you can actually watch the live stream and see that when he said that, I laughed. And he was talking about going down into the earth and into the cold, and I said, "Oh yeah, really? Nah, not going to happen." Nope. But that was an exception. That house was nobody lived in it. It was, not habitated.
No. So I mean, it was quite difficult to get you on here, obviously, because you're so busy. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you and possibly be on your show, what do they do?
Well, first of all, what they should do is send us an email, and that would be to carternovels@aol.com. That's CarterNovels@AOL.com, and just say they're interested in being interviewed on the show, and send us a link with your work, and we'll get back with you. We've got quite a waiting list right now, but we recognize talent and want to try to give everybody a shake.
But so if anybody wants to purchase the Magnolia Bluff series, where can they go? Is it on Amazon?
Yes, it is, and it's pretty easy. What you would look up is Magnolia Bluff Crime Chronicles series.
From what I understand, you guys write your novels together. Now, there's absolutely no way that I could write a novel with my wife. But tell me, what's your secret?
Almost 50 years of marriage and not killing each other yet. So this time, Rob had a real vision for the antagonist
in
the book, And I had a real vision for the ghosts. Actually, they had a real vision, and they let me know what it was.
They
And
used you.
they used me, yes. And so I would write those chapters, and then he and I would go over them, and we'd tweak them together, and he would write the other chapters with the antagonists, and he did a great job. And we would go over those and tweak those, and then we married them together.
And both of you are very, very interesting. I love your show. Always watch it. And you know, I think it'll just grow and grow and grow. So I just want to thank you for being on. And cheers.
Well,
Thank
we
you for
appreciate
having
it.
us on.
Thank you.